Howdy howdy, Sudevil here, and we have some more testing on the way. Well, not true testing. I wanted to look at the Thane in specific and his new ability, and I kind of saw a stealth nerf that I never realized happened to the Thane, which is really unfortunate, and a change to the regular Lord I'll quickly go over. Now, your Thanes have always had sort of Foe Seeker and Deadly Onslaught, but in this patch they got rid of the Tormentor Sword and added this Ironbeard's Ring, which is 22% weakness to fire damage, which can be used to reasonable effect, and we're going to show a use of that in a little bit. And he has a Silver Horn of Vengeance, and I kind of got thinking, like, Silver Horn of Vengeance is like one of the worst things the Dowie could ever have. I mean, there's no ability I think that could possibly be worse, to be honest. And I'm like, but didn't the Dwarf Lord used to have this Silver Horn of Vengeance? And I looked and then remembered that the Thane used to have the Master Rune of Stromny Redbeard, which was +5 melee attack and +4 leadership, which is actually another big hit to the Thane, because that was actually a pretty nice little ability. So I went over to the Lord, because I thought, well, if he doesn't have the Silver Horn of Vengeance, what does he have? And, well, it turns out he has new ability, Star Metal Plate, which is a Hex that's disabled if his leadership is lower than 50%, but it is what it is. 40 meter range, -9 melee attack. Pretty expensive at 240, but that's not too bad. And he also has this Iron Warden's Hammer, which is perfect vigor, and it's disabled again if his leadership is lower than 50%. Now, this ability, okay, it's pretty good. I think it's definitely interesting, and it's a definite possibility if you're going to be facing factions with high melee attack. Someone's going to bring a lot of, like, even if you're facing Chaos, where they're going to bring a lot of Chaos Warriors, that actually might be a reasonable ability to bring. This perfect vigor, I don't know. This perfect vigor with Iron Warden's Hammer would actually be decent on the Thane, to be perfectly honest. But the Silver Horn of Vengeance replacing the Master Rune of Stromny Redbeard and losing the Tormentor Sword they just nerfed the Thane so badly. I mean, I don't understand the logic. The Silver Horn of Vengeance, if someone saw it, I don't understand the logic of moving it rather than getting rid of it, especially when you have some kind of cool abilities in there, like the Star Metal Plate and Iron Warden's Hammer. Had they kept the Master Rune of Stromny Redbeard along with the Ironbeard's Ring, well, maybe, but that doesn't mean that we cannot find some way to make use of this. Now, we do have units like the Flame Cannon, all the Gyrocopter bombs do flame damage, but your Gyrocopter with Brimstone guns does flaming attacks. Obviously, your Iron Drakes, your Norgelming's Iron Breakers with their satchel charges, your regular Iron Breakers, your Warriors Dragonfire Pass, your Ekron Miners, and your Miners with Blasting Charges. All their damage is, with a lot of their stuff, is fire. So it's not like the Thane is without options to make use of this, because fundamentally this 22% weakness to fire is a 22% damage boost for all of these guys. And I could see a build where you have 2 Flame Cannons and 2 Thanes with this ability, and the Flame Cannons are already crushing, doing 22% more damage, and maybe you put a Master Engineer with the accuracy buffs back there, they could destroy entire groups of Swordmasters of Hoeth in 3 volleys pretty easy and be absolutely crushing. You run your Thanes out there to muck them up and let your Flame Cannons fire. It could actually be more devastating than you think, but it leads to more of a meme build, I guess, which is not the greatest. But anyways, the one unit I wanted to look at is our Ekron Miners. Now, we know Blasting Charges are quite powerful. They're our Miners at 325, we've done some testing, they're quite useless, and they're probably worth about 200 gold, but the Miners with Blasting Charges are useful and were worth about 400. That would say our Blasting Charges are worth about 200 gold for one volley of Blasting Charges, and if that seems to be the case, then 22% giving a weakness to them should also be quite valuable. So I thought I'd do a quick test up against Saurus Warriors just for fun with Thanes with the ability and without the ability, and let's see what our Ekron Miners can do. And you know, Ekron Miners have, you know, decent enough stats after, you know, they're not great when they're going to get into combat, but they are armor piercing. So I'm going to take my Thane that has this Iron Beard's Ring, and I'm just going to pop him to the side here and get my other Thane to the front, get my miners right here, and we will start that battle. And I'm going to get them to shoot, and we'll just try and get all their volleys off and see how much damage that we've done to the Saurus Warriors. And the Saurus Warriors don't have the... Come on, boys. Oh, this is so annoying. There we go. My Thane's gonna kill the Saurus Warriors before I get off all my shots. This is almost like the Thunderer bug. Come on, boy, shoot. We'll see if we can get him back and get our Thane a little bit out. Our Thane is getting beat up. There we go. Now we're getting some shots in. And our Thane is going to get hit with these things. That's just fine. Not a real big deal. There we go. And how many kills has our Thane got? 4 kills. And there we go. Stop. Or well, we'll just finish playing that. And they're down to 1600 health. I've done this battle a few times, and sometimes it does this, sometimes it works perfectly. So just going to rematch, and hopefully we can get these guys to function a little bit better. Because sometimes your testing just doesn't work the way you want it. Okay, and we'll get our other Thane out, and get our Thane with the Iron Beard's Ring, 22% weakness to fire damage. And we'll get these guys here. Okay. And hopefully they throw all their blasting charges in fairly quick succession. Like they're not blocked, which is good. There we go. And these guys have 22% weakness to fire damage, so we should get more damage out of these blasting charges. Yeah, you can see they're just chewing right through them. And we haven't even finished all of our blasting charges. And our Thane's only got 2 kills this time. And we haven't even gotten all of our shots off. Come on, finish them off, boys. One more. There we go. And that's it. So they got 1100. So, you know, 1100 health compared to 1600. We'll see if we can do... I'm going to just do one more. That's what you do. Like, well, that's why, you know, what I do by testing offline, I do 7 battles and whatnot. You know, I do come across some odd things every once in a while. This is one of those times. So remember, we got them down to 1100 health in no time at all. Hopefully we can have the same result where our Ekron Miners actually shoot all... Maybe I'll come and attack from the side a little bit. Okay, and them and them. Start battle. And we'll get them to shoot. And hopefully we see, again, they don't have that debuff on to the flame attacks. And our Ekron Miners are shooting. Come on, boys. Keep shooting, that's right. You can see we're going to get all our blasting charges off in less than a minute. And that's really the benefit of blasting charges in the first place, is that sort of that shock damage. And it makes such a fast impact, especially against weak troops. But Saurus Warriors with shields, I mean, they have 60 armor. They're not bad. They're certainly decent, and you can see that there's quite a big difference. We're getting right down to the end of it here. We're getting all our blasting charges off, and we've got them off. Stop. And they have 2,800 health left. And when we had our Thane in there with the Ironbeard's ring, they ended up with like 1,100 health. So it really makes quite a difference. And this actually brings, I think, the Ekron miners, it might bring them into competitive play from time to time. It certainly, your Thane with this ability is not... I wonder, we have Frenzy. Huh, I didn't even notice that. I wonder if that's new. I didn't know Ekron miners had Frenzy. Well, how about that? 31 melee attack? Huh. Well, maybe our Ekron miners got a little buff too, unless they had Frenzy before. You know, I'm not sure of that. But anyways, your Ekron miners in this configuration, you can see they did 2,800 and they got them down to 2,800 hit points, and with the Thane with the fire resistance, they got them down to 1,100. So that is a pretty big deal. And we'll get to the end of the battle, and I wonder, have they always had Frenzy? Is this new? You know, maybe this has been around forever and ever. But with that Frenzy, I mean, +8 melee attack, immune to psychology, plus 12% weapon damage. You know, maybe the Ekron miners are a unit along, particularly with the Thane at 812. You know, your Thane can do other things. You know, he can improve your charge bonus. But I mean, he could. I mean, if you brought in a loadout that had the Ekron miners, and the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are never a bad choice. They're just a good, solid all-around unit. Like, when you just make those Warriors of Dragonfire Pass have 22% extra damage if you get this thing anywhere near what they're fighting. Like, you put these guys back and allow them to go to town and put your Thane beside your Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and now you're on to something. And even with a unit of Ironbreakers on, you know, like if you had sort of this configuration where you had your Ekron miners in the middle and your Ironbreakers on one side and your Warriors of Dragonfire Pass and even maybe another group of Ironbreakers, and had this Thane so all of their damage could get buffed by it, it starts to become reasonably powerful. And I mean, you always have this idea with the flame cannon. So we'll see how that works out. This whole Ekron miners having Frenzy, that's... If someone in the comments knows if that's new or not, I would really appreciate it, because I had no idea that any dwarf units had Frenzy. Yeah, they do. Doesn't seem like anybody else does. I'm just quickly looking to see if that's on any other unit. Yeah, I don't see it. You know, you have lots of abilities, but no Frenzy. Yeah, if someone knows if that's new or not, I'd really quite appreciate it to hear from you in the comments. Anyways, just a quick test to show the Thane with the Ironbeard's ring having a pretty big synergy with Ekron miners, or just miners with blasting charges and Ironbreakers and Norgleming's Ironbreakers for sure. Holding them up, letting them get their blasting charges out is a pretty good thing. And, you know, potentially with Iron Drakes against Skaven or something like that. There's also another potential synergy, and obviously gyrocopters and flame cannons. So I might do a proper battery of testing with this at some point, but I just thought you might find that interesting, and particularly looking at the change to the Dwarf Lord with his new abilities like Star Metal Plate. That's a pretty strong ability. It is expensive though, 228 -9 melee attack. That is pretty expensive. You know, I think Morathi has something like that. Let's take a look at Morathi, just out of curiosity. That, where are you? -9 melee attack. Yeah, here. Yeah, she has it's like, even you put it on her mount, it's -9 melee attack and -8% charge bonus, and it's constant, and it's only 215, and ours is for that ability 225, 240. I wonder why it's so expensive for the Dowie. You know, Marathi gets a pretty good discount on that. And she has another ability that stacks. Let me see, where is it? Right here. -9 melee defense and -9 melee attack for 186. But she has to be in melee, so fair enough. But that's, yeah. Well, I guess it's, I don't know, it's better than having the Silverhorn of Vengeance on him. But we got it on the Thane now. So anyways, like, kind of a little update video, a little bit of testing, just a little fun. These are kind of tests I normally just do on my own, and I don't film them, and I thought, well, might as well, because I know there's going to be some people out there that find that this sort of just a simple basic tests interesting, and I had a comment saying, don't give up on the Thane, and I'm not giving up on the Thane, Javier. I'm not giving up on him. There's going to be a use for him, I hope, but he's definitely not what he used to be, especially with the Master and Astronomy Redbeard gone at the same time as the Tormentor Sword. That is a really big nerf, although the Ironbeard's ring is interesting for sure. So anyways, hope you found that interesting. Love to hear some comments down below. Other things you've seen in this patch that maybe haven't been noticed, and you know, like, did miners with blasting charges always have frenzy like the Ekron's miners? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at an old video and see. Anyways, have a good one, and I will see you soon.